So an old friend of us, Danny Engels, is here as well, enjoying the race. It has just started. What is your feeling?
Well, it actually seemed that Bastian is the fastest one over here, but after he started, he just did a slight mistake in the corner before the corkscrew, and now Krieger is in the lead. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to an exciting race now.
Okay, how come you're not sitting in one of those pods?
Well, I actually tried to be there, but I got unlucky in a race, and to be honest, I'm not that fast like Bastian or Krieger, though. Yeah, the Europeans seem to be pretty good, and I just cannot fit their speed at the moment.
Okay, so your money would be on Sebastian, depending on if he can catch up now after the little mistake. What about second, third place? Any guesses?
Well, actually, before the race, I was definitely sure that Bastian is going to win because he was way faster in the qualifying and in practice session. And now everything seems open, actually. I mean, the midfield is quite packed. Everything is really close together. Krieger is now in lead, Bastian right behind. So everything can happen. That's racing.
Okay, that's it, racing indeed. Thanks a lot for your insight here. Okay, so we have another fellow iRacer here with me. You are?
Rikke Cronin.
And you do iRacing as well?
I do, quite a lot. Mostly Star Mazda, but lately also a lot of F1.
Okay, you're from?
I'm from Holland.
All right, cool. So what's your insight or your view on this race so far?
I see there's a lot of pressure on it, and people who normally don't make many mistakes, well, they do now. Especially also in qualify, I saw Hutu spin a few times, and well, we don't see that often, I guess. And yeah, Bastian made a mistake, and then he lost the lead, and I guess Hutu has found his coolness, his Finnish coolness, so I guess he will stay in the lead and win.
All right, so it's going to be tough for Sebastian to actually regain that lead, if at all, right?
Yeah, because this track is very hard to overtake. The race is pretty short, and Hutu's just, yeah, he's a Finn and he's very quick. Yeah, very cool. So.
Any guesses on second, third place? Well, if Sebastian is taking second, then who's third?
Yeah, of course, third. I think Jake Sturgis might have a chance for it, but he's a bit back now. I'm sure that Ian Lake won't be it because he drank too much yesterday, and I don't know for the rest. We'll have to wait and see because everything can still happen. People might crash, but I think 1 and 2. Oh, yeah, someone crashed while I say it, and that's Wyatt. So Wyatt lost maybe even the place to Ian, so maybe Ian might not even be last at all.
All right. Well, thanks. We'll see. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Okay, Mitch Mcclare from Australia. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
A little bit about your racing background.
Did about 6 years in go-karting for starters, and then one of my go-karting friends got me into Live for Speed. So I played that for a little while, and then once iRacing come out, got real hooked on that. So I've been doing that for about 3 years now. I'm with the Infinity Esports race team on there, and they helped me out a fair bit for this event, doing countless laps for this. So yeah, no, it was pretty tough out there today.
Okay, now let's talk about the race. How was it for you?
Probably not my best race. Started off in qualifying, I didn't put a lap together. So I started in 7th, and then sitting on the grid I thought I needed a little bit more fuel, added that just to be safe, and sort of messed up the handling a fair bit. So I just wasn't really comfortable and pushing too hard. So the first few laps I was sitting behind White and the group of cars we were in, and I felt fairly comfortable. So I thought I'd just sit there and hopefully somebody else would make a mistake or start racing each other and I'd be able to move forward. But sort of Wyatt and I started to dice a little bit, and then we sort of broke away from that pack a bit, and from then on I was just by myself, sort of lost concentration, and then spun going through one of the corners and hit a wall. So put an end to that, but still good fun.
All right, now let's talk about the whole experience. I guess this is your first time to visit to Germany or Europe at all?
Yeah, it's first time out of Australia to go anywhere. So no, it's been quite interesting just seeing different cultures and all that sort of stuff. And it's quite good that Intel are behind iRacing and iRacing are behind us, and such an amazing event, so many people here. I didn't expect it to be this big, so now it's quite good. And to meet fellow iRacers, I've never met anybody offline before, so yeah, it was nice to meet them and have a few beers with them last night.
All right, cool. What will we expect of you in the future?
Not sure. Just going to keep racing, mainly the V8 Supercar on iRacing at the moment. The Formula 1's sort of a bit too much for me at the moment. I haven't done many laps, but hopefully I can get into Pro Series one day, so that's probably the main aim.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself then.
Wyatt Gooden. I am iRacing player and real-life race car driver. Racing the Volkswagen. Well, last year I raced in the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup, and still working on something for this year. But hopefully I'll be able to pursue the real racing career.
All right. So let's talk about the race. How was it for you?
The race, going into it, I really wasn't feeling good this week. Lack of sleep and just my motivation wasn't really all there. But I mean, overall the event was great. It was just my driving was definitely a little bit subpar, I'd say. But just kind of got caught up in an incident in the back of the field, and it wasn't really anyone's fault. Just kind of a lack of judgment. Nothing intentional, but that stuff happens, and you don't always have good races. So hey, you got to move on.
Okay. How was the whole experience for you now coming to Germany? Is it the first time to Europe for you?
It was really something else. I mean, it's kind of funny because we had the race early in the morning, and I'm so used to doing the real racing early in the morning, where you travel in, you get up from the hotel, waking up early, and you got the butterflies, pre-race anxiety going on. And it was kind of cool to feel a little bit of that in the simulation aspect. It was, that was kind of a first time for that, so I thought that was pretty neat. But the whole event itself was awesome. I mean, it's just being able to travel this far and experience all this stuff through what we love to do, this sim racing. It shows it's really growing, and it's getting bigger. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be a part of it, though.
Oh, cool. Now let's talk about your setup at home. What do you use when racing?
Actually, at the moment, I'm using a Driving Force GT with the G27 pedals, but the Perfect Pedal hydraulic brake mod. So it's more or less kind of a pressure brake as opposed to the stock one, which is just a linear spring brake. It's quite a bit different. So it took a little bit of adjusting to get used to that. But I mean, I can't blame that on my poor driving this weekend. I was just not feeling it this weekend.
All right. You mentioned you do some real world driving. How does it differ to simulation?
It's kind of like a different skill set almost. Real life driving. It's just there's a lot of different inputs that you require, and it's a lot more physical. I mean, kind of that whole aspect obviously isn't the case in sim racing. Sim racing is all mental, all 100% focus, concentration, and really 100% going all out. Kind of in the real car, you got to worry about conserving your equipment a little bit more, but it's definitely it's a really good training tool. I mean, that's why I play it. Just the mental side of racing for sure. It definitely helps that aspect.
Okay, cool. What can we expect of you in the future?
I'm not really sure. I mean, at this point, I really want to pursue a real racing career, and iRacing kind of got that started for me, which is awesome. I don't know. I'm looking into getting into open wheel though. Hopefully, something will work out, and sponsorship goes through, then that could happen.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
All right. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Ray Alfalla, and I'm a student at Florida Gulf Coast University, and been sim racing for about 6 or 7 years, and just really excited to be here.
All right, so let's talk about the race. How was it for you?
It was great. I qualified 4th, which I didn't expect. I thought I would qualify somewhere around the back, but I started 4th, and to my surprise, into turn 1, Gregor braked really early, I guess to not run into Bastian, and that forced David Williams, who was 3rd, to brake really early, so I got up to like Gregor in the first lap. And then Williams and I were side by side like the whole first lap, and I really wanted to get by him. I thought if I could get by him, I could stay in 3rd the whole race. But I just, I tried to stay back there, putting pressure on him, but came home 4th, which is better than I thought I'd do.
Okay. Now, I understand you are more of an oval racer, right?
Yeah, I started with ovals really since the start, and I used to do road courses like on NASCAR 2003, basically just in Finian and Watkins Glen like twice a year. And finally iRacing came along, and I got the Skip Barber car and did a lot of road course racing with that, and said, you know, why not try to make the DWC in both series? And I wouldn't say my primary focus is oval. I mean, I really just try hard in both, but I'm better on the oval side just because I have more time there, and you know. But I enjoy both series. You know, in the oval series, I'm usually racing for the win, and DWC I'm mid-pack, but it's either way, it's still hard racing and it's still fun.
Right. Let's talk about your setup at home. What do you use there?
I actually got the Obuto cockpit about 6 months ago, and the triple screen setup with Ifinity a few months ago. So it's a little bit different than this, but I think it's great that the triple screens. I think it helps. Some people say it makes you slower, which is a complete myth. There's nothing like better vision for a driver. You can see out the left and the right all the time, and I got that, and pretty powerful PC, Sandy Bridge CPU, and it's a lot of fun, just to be able to race like that.
All right. Now, how was the whole experience, the whole event for you so far?
Oh, it's been great. Really, the only it's like 12 or 13 hours of flying to get here. I had to make a stop in Philadelphia where Jake Sturgis and I almost missed the plane with a dramatic stop the plane type scene. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth. We were so tired that Intel hosted a dinner last night, and then we went back to the hotel before the dinner, and we both just fell asleep and missed the dinner. So. But other than that, it's been great, really.
Okay, thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Jake Sturgis. I'm 19. I'm from New Hampshire in the United States. Yeah.
Your racing background?
I used to race quarter midgets when I was from when I was 6 to 15. Then I went up to micro sprints on dirt down in Massachusetts and raced that for a year or two, and then I moved up to midgets and relatively new to sim racing. I really only started with the oval racing at first, and then I got into the road racing when I bought iRacing about 2 years ago, and I really enjoy it. I've been getting better. Still room for improvement after watching my driving today, but 5th place, not bad.
Right, absolutely. So let's talk about the race. How was it for you?
The qualifying went pretty well. I started 5th. I didn't get close to my best, but I made a few setup changes right before the race. Wish I hadn't. The car was a little out of control the first 10 laps. I got comfortable towards the end and did my fastest lap on lap 28, but by then I was so far back, didn't really matter, but it was a good race. Congratulations to Gregor for the win, by the way.
Speaking of setup, what is the setup at home?
I have a stock G27. I just have a desk with a flat screen monitor, not very big, 21 inches I think, and just a normal kitchen table chair, all wood. Not comfortable, but very sturdy. That's all I need. And the pedals are flat on the floor, unlike this, so this was very difficult to get used to, especially the braking. I was having a lot of trouble with that. I thought I got comfortable with it in practice. Then the race started, it felt totally different again. I think that was just nerves, but...
Right. Now, how was the whole experience for you so far?
Incredible. It doesn't even feel real, but I woke up this morning after not sleeping the night before, and suddenly I could think again, and I said in that I'm in Germany. It took about 5 minutes, but then the big race was today, and I'm satisfied with the results, but this trip has just been amazing, between almost missing our plane to Europe and sprinting for half a mile in the airport with everyone laughing at us. It's amazing. I'm really glad Intel put this on, or else I'd be at work right now.
All right. So what will the future hold for you?
This year, hopefully I can get back in my midget after taking the year off last year, get some more real racing in, and definitely keep up the sim racing, try to make the Pro Series with the F1 car. That's been a lot of fun lately, even though I crashed a lot, but it's very exciting.
Okay, well, thanks you a lot for the interview.
Thank you.
All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Ian Lake. I'm from Australia. I've been sim racing since Grand Prix Legends. Yeah, I stopped sim racing about 10 years ago, and I just got back into iRacing and got into the Australian final and won that race. And didn't do too well today, but that's okay.
Yeah, let's talk about today. What happened?
A lot of different configuration on the pedals and such forth, but yeah, it was okay. I'm lacking a bit of consistency, so yeah, yep.
Okay, whole experience itself, coming to Europe, and is this the first time to Europe for you?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's freezing over here. I came from 33-degree temperatures and got here and it's 2 degrees. So cold.
Right. What kind of setup do you use at home?
It's actually a G27 and a Butto cockpit. I've been spotted. Our race team got sponsors by Butto cockpits. So yeah.
So were you fine when using the play seats and the setup they have here?
It's okay. That's the best way I can put it. There are things that I'd like to change on it, but we're not allowed to modify the wheel and pedals and such. So I did okay. I changed some little bits and pieces that helped with my sim racing. So.
All right. You mentioned you just came back from a longer absence from racing. What can we expect from you in the future? Well, what are your goals?
Basically, I just drive for fun. So I was pretty happy to come here and compete here. But we have the Drivers' World Championship that we do each year, and I've got into this second one. I'm having a hard time with the F1 car. I haven't had enough practice, but it's good fun.
All right. Thanks a lot. Then go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dave Williams from the UK, studying automotive engineering at Loughborough University. I started sim racing on Live for Speed, at least properly, like online against other people, and that really got me into it. You're not just racing computer opponents. There's actual, and then I raced a good few years and that got really involved. Got into a team called My3ID Gaming. I'm still in that team. It's the only team I've ever been in. And great group of guys. And then iRacing obviously came out and I tried it. Then went for like 6 months without trying it again until I got a bit more money. And then got a year, I think, and then started working up, your safety rating, your I rating, and they were talking about the World Championship, and so that was my goal, to get in the Pro Series. Did that, and we just had the first World Championship race last week, and then obviously last summer qualifying for this, I was pretty lucky, actually, to even get into the qualifier. I had a terrible week when it was just like the European week-long series. Had a few crashes and I just ended up 13th, I think, at the end of the week. But fortunately I was lucky because there were a few guys that were too young. So I just scraped into the top 10, just scraped into the qualifier, and then the qualifying race, I just scraped into that as well. Had a battle with Vit Mestina. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he actually passed me. This is a qualifier. Passed me, and then I repassed him, and so just managed to get fourth. So obviously, coming into this, you don't really know. Anything can happen. I mean, especially with the different cockpits, you've got to adjust, and it's the same for everyone, though, I guess. But I mean, if you have a play seat at home and you've got a similar, similar style of cockpit, then you've definitely got an advantage. Particularly, though, the brake pedal on this, it's the same for everyone, but brake pedal, you've got to kind of crane your leg around the central column, so that took a while to get used to, but We had plenty of practice yesterday, and I got the third fastest time yesterday, so that made me think, you know, maybe I could get a pretty good result.
And you did. You finished third. So congratulations on that. How did the race go from your point of view?
Well, qualifying, the first 10 minutes, it felt like 10 minutes. I just couldn't get in a lap at all. And I was really starting to, you know, never felt pressure like that. But luckily, I had a pretty good run during the last 5 minutes, and where I was just continuously improving my time, and managed to get third. So that was obviously really good. I mean, the guys at the front, they were 0.3 quicker, so not really sure. I mean, my personal best at home was reasonably close to that, but yeah. So the actual race itself, the start, I didn't actually realise it was going to be a rolling start. But to be honest, I was, you know, grateful, because less chance of, it reduces the chance of carnage, basically. So I got a good start. Gregor was directly in front of me because he started second. No, he wasn't directly in front. He started on the right and then defended into turn one, but broke quite early. So I think a few guys behind me were a bit caught out, but no contact, so that was good. And then the first few laps, I was, you know, struggling to really settle in. Had a lot of pressure from I think, do you know who came fourth?
No, actually I don't.
Ray.
Oh yes, right.
Ray. Yeah, Ray was behind me the whole race, and I had to go defensive across the start-finish line several times for the, you know, what it felt like several times for the first few laps. But then after that, I managed to start, settling in and just trying to stay within your limits. At the same time, you know, still trying to push, because I mean, anything could happen up front. You know, they could collide or whatnot, and you know, you've got to be close enough to take advantage of it. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But still, you know, couldn't have really have gone much better. You know, really good.
All right. Now let's talk about the whole event so far. How was it for you?
It's been fantastic. I think iRacing and Intel have done a really good job. Personally, you know, I think looking around, this kind of setup it looks really good compared to the. I mean, it's still relatively not very well known. I mean, I've seen several guys come up to these. You know, they've been like, you know, what's iRacing? What is this? What game is this? So yeah, I think they've definitely put on a good show.
All right. You mentioned you are in a team. Did your teammates help you in the preparation of this event?
Well, there was only a few days really after last weekend when we had the first round of the World Championship. So really, I just didn't really even make many tweaks to the setup I used in the qualifier. I tried some things out, and but no, they didn't. They didn't really help me.
Okay, what can we expect of you in the future?
Well, you know, I'll try and. I think I mean, the first race for us as a team in the World Championship couldn't really have gone much better. I mean, we had top 5 of 6 positions, so obviously, you know, try and do as well as I can in that. And then, you know, hopefully with these kind of events, hopefully we'll see more of them, because I think this one, you know, went really smoothly, and I think it's great because the more growth, you know, more people you get, the more competition. So it's just, you know.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the interview.
Thanks very much.
All right, so please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Bastien Bartsch. I am 25. I'm French. My team is the Team Red Line. I did sim racing since 5 years now, and that's all.
All right. Now let's talk about the race. First of all, congratulations on second place. How was it for you?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointed because I started from the first position, but I did a mistake in the second lap, I think, and Gregor managed to pass me. So I was second, and I kept this position until the end. So it's still a good result, but it's a bit disappointing too.
Yeah, I've talked to some of the spectators and some of the experts. Had you actually pinned down for first place? So I guess it's understandable the disappointment from your side. How come you made this mistake? Were you nervous?
Maybe a bit nervous, yes. I missed the corner, and I finished outside in the gravel, and yes, Gregor passed me there.
All right, but still second place. It's a great result. How was the whole experience for you so far?
I did some great competition in the past, like GT Academy or VWTCC, and the World Championship on iRacing last year, of course. So I think I have good experience in this competition. But it wasn't enough today.
All right. Being French, you didn't have to travel that far to get to Germany, right? Unlike the others from Australia and the US. Is it the first time to Germany for you?
Yes, it's the first time, yes.
Okay. I noticed that some folks were right behind you, watching you. Anybody you knew?
Yes, there was my parents, my brother, my girlfriend, all the family.
Wow, so the whole family was watching you. I guess they're pretty proud of you now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are proud, yes.
Cool. Now, your setup at home, what does it look like?
It was pretty similar with what we have there. So I wasn't... I felt... I had a good feeling with this set. And it explains, I think, my good pace in qualifying and in race in overall. Yes.
All right, cool. Last question: what can we expect of you in the future?
I have over the great tournament this year, and I hope I will be able to do a good result. In this competition too.
All right, thanks a lot and congratulations again. So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Rikke Cronin from Finland, and I've been sim racing for about 12 years, I think, and been doing iRacing for a couple of years, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on the victory. You won here. How was the race for you?
It was long. First few laps I was following Bastian. I think he was a bit faster in this event than me. But he made a small mistake and I got by him. And then just tried to do consistent laps, keep it on the road, and yeah, finish the race, and yeah, I was able to do that and win the race. So yeah, it was a cool race.
All right. I know that you guys are in the same team, Bastian and you. Are there some kind of team orders going on in the background?
No, not really. I mean, just not to crash in turn one. But yeah, we just went for our own race, and yeah, nothing more than that. So.
All right. Now let's talk about the setup. What kind of setup do you use at home?
I have a Fanatec setup, so it's a bit different, especially the pedals. But you know, it wasn't too hard to get used to these ones, and actually was a lot easier than I thought. So the lap times were pretty close what I can do at home. So yeah, it went much better than I expected.
All right. Obviously, you've won lots of championships and races, competitions. How do those events compare to this one?
Well, this is really different. The first time I've done a big event like this in front of the public. So there was a lot of pressure, quite nervous, and it's really hard to concentrate during the race. So really happy to win something like this, and it's one of my best races, I think, best results.
Okay, I know that one of the spectators, when we were discussing the current situation in the race, when you were leading, he said, well, Gregor is Finn, he's cool, so he will win the race. We didn't notice you were nervous at all.
Well, I was. My feet were shaking a little bit, I think. But yeah, not too bad. I mean, I was able to focus pretty well, and I think that's one of my strengths. And yeah, I guess it helps in a race like this.
All right. With all those wins you've accumulated already, what can we expect of you in the future?
More of the same, I hope. Would be great to do an event like this again. Hopefully it will happen next year. And yeah, if it does, I'll try to qualify again and come here. And yeah, then there's the iRacing World Championship. That's going to be tough this year, so have to focus on that and hopefully get a top 3 at least, and of course try to defend my title. But yeah, it's going to be tough, but we'll see.
All right, well, good luck for that, and Kiitos for the interview, and yeah, see you next time on the track. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself then.
Hi, my name's Dom DeHaan. I'm the founder and one of the drivers for Team Redline, with the likes of Gregor, Hutu, Bastian Barsch, Luke McLean, Ben, Volker, a whole load of great drivers basically.
Yes, and that they're great drivers. They demonstrated quite clearly here with scoring first and second place. You must be quite pleased, right?
You know, brilliant for the team. Brilliant for the team, and brilliant for both of them, because I knew there's a lot of pressure on them. They're touted as two of the best drivers around, and you know, you've got to soak up that pressure and deliver, and they did it today. I got to say though, Bastian did look incredible. I thought he was going to, you know, he made a small mistake, but I thought he was going to absolutely dominate it today. But yeah, really good result for the team. I'm just so pleased with what they've done. So it's brilliant.
What's your view on the whole event so far?
The event is huge. This is where sim racing should be. It should have this kind of coverage. It should have, you know, people sitting down and watching it on the big screen. You know, it's entertaining. Racing's entertaining, and I'm just surprised that it's taken so long to get this far with sim racing. But you know, hopefully this will be the first of many. And you know, seeing big names like Intel come into it is only going to be good for the sport.
All right. Now, apart from this event, there's of course the World Series event going on. You've got the team got a title to defend. How is it going there?
Well, we had the first race last weekend at Spa. Fantastic race. Usually, last season, I think Gregor won 16 out of the 18 races, but this season, there's a few new guys on the block, and they were really fast, so Gregor had to really attack, and it was great viewing, and yeah, we did well. We did well, and next race is next weekend. It's going to be really tough as well, but it's good. We had over 2,500 people watching online last time. So, you know, it's creeping up. We're starting to get more and more people getting involved, watching sim racing, becoming fans, and we need that. We need that.
Right. Now, with Gregor being from Finland, Bastien from France, you're from?
Oh, well, the centre of the earth, England.
Oh, of course. Yeah, with a multi-country team, how did you actually form this team?
Well, I mean, it's going back quite a way now. I think back to 2001, where I was driving something called Toka 2 and kind of doing really well there, winning loads of stuff. And then I started doing an F1 series, F1 2000, and at the top of the hot lap charts was some guy called Gregor. And I was like, do you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. And I thought, let's get this Gregor guy to come and drive with me. And then we kind of started from there. And along the way, we've had a number of awesome drivers. And yeah, Gregor's still at the top and, you know, very strong driver. So that's where we've been.
What does it take to be a top sim racer?
Well, practice. Always practice. But I think many of them have kind of a good innate ability to hit the marks and also kind of always hit that spot at the apex, basically, and just know what they're doing. I didn't really explain that very well, but I just think a lot of it is practice. A lot of it is understanding how to balance the car. So understanding oversteer and understeer and how to counter-effect that with steering and brakes and throttle is the key elements.
I talked with the guys about their different setups. And of course, this industry is growing as well with seats, wheels, stuff like that. What role does the equipment play at all?
Well, do you know what? You can probably get something that you could be really fast in from your local game shop. I mean, when I first started, I had a Microsoft Sidewinder, which is just a basic wheel. It costs like £80, and do you know what? I did really well with that. I won a lot of stuff with that, and it was a great wheel, and it served its purpose. But there is more technology coming into it, and it is becoming more important because times are getting so close now that if you can get a pedal set that has more just smoother and just slightly better, then it will make a slight difference on track. But most importantly, the new equipment makes you more consistent. And as we know, consistency is key with racing. So yeah, it is getting more and more important.
What can we expect of your team in the future?
Well, I think this year in the World Championship is going to be really difficult, but I'm really hoping that we can pull it out of the bag. I think Gregor's still got a really good chance. It's going to be very strong. I also know that Bastian is competing in the Gran Turismo competition to win a AMG SLS worth about 180 grand. So he's got a really good chance of winning that. So yeah, we've got a number of other new drivers that have joined us as well, and they're very strong for this World Championship, like an Italian chap called Luca, and we're hoping he's gonna really deliver this year as well. But the good thing about working in a team is that you can work together with setups and you can share replays and you can talk about how to go that extra 10th. So yeah, should be a good year.
Okay, we will look forward to that. Thanks a lot.